I'm Michelle. I am the head of creator success at Streamlabs, and I'm also a former live streamer.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm head of design here at Streamlabs, working mostly on our core product, and I'm really excited to show you guys some streaming 101 tips today. And okay, cool. Here we go. So just to give everyone some context, Michelle and I are from Streamlabs. We work at Streamlabs. And for those of you who don't know, Streamlabs is a suite of live streaming, branding, recording, several tools for content creators. We really try to be the full solution. But today we're going to be focusing mostly on the live streaming experience. So a really good starting point is figuring out what you want to stream. Once you know what you want to stream, that will help you decide where you're going to stream it from, what you're going to need to use, and you're really going to set yourself up for success by streaming something you love. Ultimately, streaming is your time. This is something that you're going to want to do consistently. And so, in order to not give up on it, we really find that people do better when they're streaming something they're actually passionate about. Once you've decided what content you want to stream, whether that's gaming, art, chatting, anything, that will kind of dictate where you're going to stream from, whether it's a desk, on the go, or somewhere else. And once you've decided what you're streaming and where you're going to stream from, then you can choose a platform of where you want to start growing your audience. You guys are all familiar with Twitch, Facebook, Trovo, but you can also stream to custom destinations as well, or with some paid services like Restream and Streamlabs Multi-Stream. You can also stream to multiple destinations at the same time if you're looking to really expand your reach. So now we're going to talk about equipment.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about streaming, you're definitely going to need to think about what equipment you might need and some of the common things that you might need to think about if you are going to be live streaming are the computer is the obvious one. If you're planning to be streaming from a desktop, a webcam if you want to be on camera for your stream, a microphone, a capture card if you're going to be streaming with a console or something like that. And last, your smartphone if you're planning to be streaming on the go or stream mobile games or something like that. And so once you kind of thought about what you might need, you can also use stuff that you already have. So, going out and buying a full new setup of a bunch of brand new stuff for your stream is definitely exciting, but it's definitely not necessary to get you started. We recommend that you try utilizing items that you already have in your home to get started. And if you are going to buy new items to start streaming, just stick to your budget. Stick to what you're comfortable with purchasing when you're going to purchase some new equipment to get started. Some things that you may consider utilizing are the computer that you already have. Your computer may have a webcam built into it, especially if it's like a laptop or something like that. You may be able to use that camera to get started. If you have a headset, maybe like a gaming headset that you use to game with, you can definitely use the microphone on that in most cases, as opposed to going out and buying a dedicated microphone. And then depending on what kind of content that you're going to make, you might just need your smartphone. So you might not need any of the fancy equipment to get started. And then, of course, there's leveling up your equipment. So you should start with what's in your budget, and your budget may be large and you may want to buy a lot of new things, and that's awesome too. Definitely go for it if that's in your budget and you're excited about it. But you can also level up your equipment as you're streaming, and this is a nice way to do it because you can determine which things are most important to you when you start creating content. So, for example, you might have started using your gaming headset as your microphone, but you may have found that the microphone quality is just not very good. It's not what you're looking for, so you may decide to prioritize going out and buying like a nice USB microphone to start, or you may even go for like an XLR mic setup. But don't rush. You can always level things up as you go. You can buy more inexpensive items and replace them with higher level, more expensive items as you go. There's no rush to have the perfect setup.
Cool. So then once you have your equipment and your hardware set up, then it's time to figure out what software you're going to need. So this really depends on what device you're going to use, PC, console, or mobile. So if you're streaming from a PC, there's several broadcasting solutions available. You're going to need to download something that's going to let you set up your scenes and your sources, capture your game, and actually broadcast yourself to the platform. We work at Streamlabs, so Streamlabs Desktop is what we're most familiar with and what we'll talk about mostly today. But Streamlabs Desktop is a free live streaming and recording solution for Windows and Mac. And what's nice about it is all your Streamlabs widgets, if you've ever used us on the web, are directly built in, as well as several other functionalities that kind of let you get started out the gate a bit faster. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you're streaming from console, there's a couple solutions for you. So you'll obviously need to be able to capture your game and broadcast that. So if you do have a PC and you're already using Streamlabs Desktop, you can use a capture card from brands like Elgato or AverMedia to capture that gameplay and display it in your software. Or if you don't have a PC, you can try out Streamlabs Studio. If you're using an Xbox and streaming to Twitch, Streamlabs Studio is a solution that we rolled out that lets you add overlays, alerts, and widgets and stuff to your gameplay without even needing a computer. And last, if you're streaming from mobile, you'll also need a mobile app to broadcast. The Streamlabs mobile app it's a free app that you can use to stream either gameplay or on the go. We have a game mode that will capture any mobile game that you're playing, or we have just a camera-only mode, which is really good for when you're out and about. And what's nice is that the Streamlabs mobile app that is synced with if you have a web account or a desktop account where you've already set up some of your settings and alerts, those will be carried right over if you're using the same account.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about setup of your streaming software. So for today, we're going to cover getting set up with the basics of a PC stream with Streamlabs Desktop. So to get started, you will need to check some of your general settings. So to start, you'll look at your audio devices and their levels. So that's going to be like your microphone, your desktop audio, and then any other audio sources that you may have added. Your video devices, so that'll be your webcam or your capture card if you're using one. Your encoder, your output resolution, and your frame rate settings, which are all based on your PC specs and the desired quality that you're looking for. Now, these settings can be a little bit complicated depending on what your particular PC specifications are. So we do recommend that, if you're not sure where to start, you can always start with some basic settings, which are available in a lot of our guides, and then you can adjust up or down from there. So generally speaking, like a 720p and a 30 frames per second. With a NVENC encoder are the basics to start, and you can always dial up the quality or dial it back down depending on how powerful your PC is. And then last, we have the bitrate setting. This is based on your internet speed and the platform that you stream to. So this is your upload speed with your internet service provider. And there's also some platforms that have maximum bitrate limits set. So you just want to be aware of those depending on the platform that you're streaming to, because there's really no use in setting a bitrate above what the platform limit is going to be. There's a lot of different calculators available online to kind of calculate based on your upload speed and your resolution and your frame rate, what you should be setting your bitrate at. So you can definitely go into one of those calculators, put in your specifications, and it'll give you a suggested bitrate. And then again, you can dial it up and down from there to find that perfect balance for your situation. And last note on bitrate is it's really best to hardwire your internet connection to your streaming PC if it's at all possible for you. This is going to help a lot with any fluctuations in your internet connection. But if you have to use a Wi-Fi connection, that's okay too. And then there's overlays. Overlays are a really great way to add a personal touch to your stream. You can select overlays that reflect your personality or your branding. And overlays include things like starting soon scenes, stream ending scenes, BRB scenes, webcam frames, and different types of scenes that are based on whether you're streaming just chatting or you're streaming a game, or there's different types of styles of scenes depending on what kind of content you're streaming. Once you've installed overlays, you can also customize them. You can delete certain scenes that maybe you're not going to use. So maybe you don't really need a BRB scene. You can definitely remove those. You can also add scenes in, and you can edit the components of each scene in that overlay. And then last part of the setup we'll cover for now are the sources. So these are just some general sources that we're going to cover here. There's a lot more sources. You can see in the screenshot there in the slide that there's tons of different types of sources, but we'll just cover the very basic ones. So general sources are just your classic scene elements like your webcam, audio sources, game capture sources, text sources, and browser sources. Widgets are dynamic viewer-based sources. Those are alert box, chat box, goals, events list, chat highlight widget, and lots of others. Those are just some of the most popular ones. Apps and third-party sources can also be installed from the App Store. Those are things like music players, advanced analytics, sponsorship apps, and many more. So for sources, you will want to just browse the available sources and widgets and kind of decide what's best for you and what you want to do with your content. You may also find inspiration from looking at other content creators that you know based on what they are using on their stream, and you can try those out for yourself.
Cool. So now we're going to talk about widgets, which are some of our most popular tools. Starting with alert box. Alerts are hands down the most commonly used widget for streamers, for live streamers. And they're these highly customizable live alerts that are basically to give your viewer a moment of recognition. So if someone follows you, it's an alert that's going to pop up right on the screen in real time and show their name. And again, it just gives them that fun little moment of recognition. So it gives the streamer an opportunity to call them out, say thank you, and really build that engagement. Alerts are highly customizable. You can design not only like how they look, but you can customize them each per event type. So your donation alerts can look different from your follow alerts. And Streamlabs supports event types across multiple platforms. So follows and donations are some of the most popular, but you can even have alerts when you sell a merch item, get a resubscription, Twitch hosts and raids, bits. There's alerts for all kinds of events that you can customize. Doesn't just stop at alert box. Alert box is just the most popular. We have over a dozen widgets that you can try out adding to your stream. As Michelle said, some of this will be trial and error. You won't probably want to use all 12 of them, but you'll want to see what works best for you and your audience and like what they appreciate. But some of our other really popular widgets are chat box. This is showing your chat right on your stream, event list, donation goals, follow goals. This is just to encourage viewers to interact with you more. Like I said, we have over a dozen, and a lot of them are designed to encourage engagement. Some of them are designed to help your monetization.
So now we're going to talk about CloudBot, or just bots in general, but we're going to be covering CloudBot. That's what we're most familiar with. There's a lot of great bot options out there. I think I see Nightbot in the chat right now. That's another example. But for CloudBot specifically, first we'll talk about safety and moderation. So one of the reasons that people use bots is to protect their chat. So sometimes there can be malicious activity that comes into your chat. Trolls can come in and post things that you probably don't want in your chat. So you can set up a bot. CloudBot, you can set specific settings on what you'd like to have filtered out of your chat. And there's several different categories of protection, like caps protection, spam protection, specific word protection, paragraph protection. Link protection is especially helpful for people that may be posting like phishing links or anything like that in your chat. You can also use something called safe mode that works with CloudBot to protect you in the event of severe chat activity, such as a hate raid. Safe mode can be enabled with just one click. You can customize your settings on it ahead of time, and it can do a lot of things like change your chat into emote-only mode, follower-only mode, sub-only chat. It can also clear your chat history for a predetermined amount of time, and it can also stop your alerts. So if somebody is putting through alert events that are with hateful names or messages, you can have that automatically stopped when you enable the safe mode. All you need to do is just activate it, and it will do all of these things at once. You don't need to do them one by one. And then moving on to engagement, CloudBot isn't just good for protecting your chat, it's also great for chat engagement. So one of the main things that is great for engagement is your loyalty points option. This allows viewers to earn loyalty points by being in your chat, watching you, chatting in your chat. You can also customize how your CloudBot pays out points to your viewers. And with the points, there's also a loyalty redemption store. So once they earn points, they have something to do with the points. They can spend them on customized incentives that you've set up. So they can be anything you want. You can set up, make me do a funny dance on stream, a specific item that you want to give them for having that many points. It can really be anything you want. There's also mini games. They can play mini games in chat. They can play these amongst themselves. One person can play them alone. It's pretty customizable, and it allows your chat to have something fun to do while maybe you're busy doing something. And they have a little bit of extra entertainment, and they can also win loyalty points while they're playing those games. Commands are a really, really popular part of bots. You can use them to promote your socials. You can call out important announcements or things that you want your chat to know about your stream or your community. You can also have commands that answer, questions that people ask you a lot so that you don't have to repeat yourself all the time. And you can also have just like fun commands that people can post that will make the bot say something fun. Polls are really great as well. Polls are great for asking your viewers a fun question on stream, letting them decide what you're going to do next in your game. It's really up to however your creativity takes you, and you want to use polls. There's last thing we'll cover for the engagement part of CloudBot is giveaways. You can do merch giveaways. You can do play with me. You can do other custom items. Maybe you have like a specific item that you're wanting to give away on stream. You can use CloudBot to do that, and it will run the giveaway for you. With the merch giveaways, it's really great because you can pay for that merch item from your merch store. And when the viewer wins the item, they can securely upload their personal information to receive their merch giveaway item.
Okay, and now we're going to cover brand and channel. So once your stream itself is actually set up, there's tons you can do to start creating your brand and getting your personality to come across. And Logo Maker is a really great place to start because once you've created your logo, you can use it in so many places that it lets you get a pretty consistent look quickly. With the Streamlabs Logo Maker, you can use it for free. You can edit the shapes, icons, fonts, colors, really everything to get something that you feel like represents you. And then once you've created that, you can use your logo as your channel avatar, as your channel banner, in your merch, badges, emotes, in your alerts, really in tons of places. And this consistency is what's going to help your stream to start look more and more polished and professional. And there are several logo makers out there that you can use. We just have a free one built into our web service. Now to talk about a couple channel assets. So panels, if you guys are not aware, panels are links that live right below your video on Twitch. So you have your video frame, and then right below you can add these customized designed panels to link most commonly to your social media pages, to your tip page, to your merch store. And this is another place where you can use your logo right on them, or you could at least use your same brand color to keep having that consistent look across. Another popular channel asset on the YouTube side is thumbnails. So these are like little overlays that would go over your YouTube VOD, most commonly used to try to catch the attention of potential viewers. When you're scrolling, you want them to see a bright, exciting thumbnail, so they're more likely to click and view your video. And Streamlabs has different pre-made themes that you can use, or you can also create your own, really using anything that you want. Now, moving into the actual stream, we've talked about all the basic sources and we've talked about widgets and overlays, but there's a few more stream assets that you can use that again will just like reinforce that branding. And the first one we'll talk about is intros. So these are little animated loops that you can play at the beginning, middle, or end of your stream. Most commonly, they're used to just tell viewers like, we're going to start soon, here's my merch store, here's my socials, don't leave, be here and going live in a few minutes. And these are fully customizable. You can change what each screen says, how much it loops, and this is actually free to use on Streamlabs as well. You can just download your intro and then you add it as a scene inside your streaming software like Streamlabs desktop. And the next thing are social reminders. This is actually a newer asset that we launched, and these are fun little alerts that you can add to your live stream to remind your viewers to follow your socials. So they look very similar to the other like viewer-based alerts, but they'll pop up however often you want and will say, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. So these are just another great little tool that you can add right into your live stream, makes it more dynamic. It's another animation just to encourage viewers to interact with you and check out your other channels.
So we're going to start to talk a little bit about monetization. So the first component of monetization that we'll talk about is tipping. So tipping is really kind of the most simple way to start monetizing your content without needing to meet any following or status requirements with a platform. You can set up tipping just by simply linking your PayPal. You can also set up credit card tipping, which is more of an onboarding, but also very simple. And tipping essentially just provides a link where your viewers can send you a tip and directly support you with money, basically just directly support. The money goes directly to you. It doesn't go through the platform or anything like that. And for tipping, you can set up PayPal or credit card tipping. And we do highly recommend that if you're going to use PayPal to accept tips, that you use a business PayPal account. It's important to note that there's no fee to use tipping. Streamlabs doesn't take a cut of your tips. There's no platform fee. Any fees that you would see on your tips would just be the standard payment processing fees from the processor. You can also set up alerts to announce your tips on stream. So when a viewer sends you a tip, it shows up on stream and it gives you kind of a prompt to either thank them on stream for their support, celebrate the support that they're giving you with your community, and recognize them for being there and wanting to support you as a creator. And then there's also recurring monthly tips, which are tips that a viewer can set up and they can support you monthly with a predetermined amount that they can customize. So they get to select the amount that they're able to support you each month, and each month that tip automatically gets sent to you. They can redeem an alert for that tip every month, so they can come in and redeem an alert that says, hey, I've supported you again for X amount of months. And this just really creates a consistent revenue stream for you as a creator. It allows your viewers to choose how much they can contribute. So maybe they can't contribute a whole $5. Maybe they can only contribute $2. It's totally up to them. You can set a minimum as the creator, but it is up to the viewer other than that. The best part is that there's no status or requirements to set this up, as the same way there is no requirement with tipping. You can set this up the first day you start streaming. You don't have to wait until you have like a certain amount of followers or that you're an affiliate or anything like that. And recurring monthly tips are only available with PayPal accounts for right now.
Cool. So having a merch store is another great way that you can monetize and also give your fans a way to support you and represent your brand. It's really nice to have additional revenue streams like on top of your tipping. And what's nice about merch is this is really custom to you. It really like you can use your logo on it, you can get that branding piece in. And with Streamlabs merch, you can fully customize all of the apparel that you want to sell to your fans. You can customize what it looks like. You can customize what actual items you want to sell. the colors of it. And what's nice about it is there's no order minimums, there's no setup fees or anything like that. So really all you have to do is customize the merch. You can add your logo onto it and publish your store. Once your store is published, this is going to be available right on your personal storefront page. So if you have like a Streamlabs account, you'll have your own personal link where your fans can go to buy your merch. And this would be another thing to link in your panels below your stream, linking to your merch store, making that easy so that your viewers can find it. And lastly, on monetization, there is platform-specific monetization built into most popular platforms. So people are probably, most commonly familiar with Twitch subscribers, YouTube members. This is built right into the platforms, right into your channel. So it is convenient, but something to note about platform-specific monetization is there's often restrictions in terms of you have to have minimal follower count or a certain status. On Twitch, for example, you have to be a partner or an affiliate in order to even use subscriptions. So that's why Streamlabs Recurring Tips is kind of a nice option, especially if you're a smaller, newer streamer, because there's no minimums or status requirements to use it.
So we'll talk about growth now. So the first part on growth that we'll talk about is the scheduling. So if you ask a content creator or a live streamer what their biggest growth tips are, you'll hear that you need to have a consistent streaming schedule. That will definitely be one of the top pieces of advice that you'll hear. And it's definitely true. Schedule is really important because it enables your viewers to be aware of when you're going to be live. If your viewers don't know when you're going to be live, they can't reorganize their schedule to be there. If they really want to be there and view your stream, they can't plan ahead, and they just won't know when you're going to be there. So it's a lot more difficult for them to become a consistent, regular viewer. It's also a good idea to stream at a consistent time. So if you're going to be streaming in the evenings, you should try to, at least for some period of time, stream around that same time for a while, because that tends to be when, a certain group of people may be available to watch you, depending on their time zone, depending on their daily schedule and their habits. Because your real goal should be to get regular viewers. That is how you can build that consistent viewership where you have, several people who are showing up every time, and that number continues to grow as you climb in a directory. You should also communicate your stream schedule with your community. You can do so with the schedule extension on Twitch, which is the image that we have in the slideshow there. It has a nice countdown to the next time you're going to be live. So if your viewers want to come check when you might be live, they can see a countdown to that, as well as the schedule for each day of the week. And if you don't want to use that, that's totally fine. You can also, make your own, post it in your community Discord, or post it on your Twitter and pin it or something like that, just somewhere that your viewers can easily go find it and reference when you might be live. And then if you do find yourself unable to stick to your current schedule, or you just need to change it for some reason, you should definitely let your community know that you're changing your schedule, especially if it's a little more a more drastic change, like maybe you're going from streaming in the evenings to the afternoons. It's really important to let your community know so that they aren't showing up at your normal time in the evenings and wondering where you are. So the next portion of the growth tips is community. So I did mention briefly about a Discord server. It's a really great idea to create a community Discord server if you are starting a live stream or any kind of content creation. It's a great idea to start that because it creates a place where you can engage with your community off stream. So just having, casual chatter in your Discord community, posting updates and announcements for them that they would like to be able to hear, anything like that is really important to be doing for them so that they feel engaged with you and that you're creating a community. You can always also raise money for a cause with Streamlabs charity. So this is a great thing to do, not only because, you're running a charity stream and you're raising money for a great cause, but it's also a really good thing to do because you may attract new viewers that may not be familiar with you because of their shared interest in the cause you're supporting. And that's it's a really great way to connect with new viewers, a new audience that shares your same values. And then last, growing your social media followings outside of your live channel. So you should do so by posting regularly. One note here that is often shared by streamers is not to just post when you go live. So don't just go post on Twitter or Instagram, only when you go live. It's great to do so because it does let your viewers know that you're live. It reminds them that you're going live. But if that's the only thing that you're posting, you're not going to be attracting a lot of new followers that aren't already viewers of your live stream. And then next, highlight and share. So it's no secret that discoverability on Twitch or on most live streaming platforms is poor at best. If you are trying to start out as a brand new live streamer, it can be really difficult to garner viewers from other larger creators. So one way to grow your following is to post your content across multiple platforms to pull viewership from other sources. So uploading to YouTube is one of the most effective methods that's been around for a long time. And you should show off the most exciting live moments of your stream. You can also post your whole VOD. That's something that a lot of creators do. They do go and post their whole VOD on YouTube, but you can also take outtakes of the most exciting moments. One great tool that you can use to do this is Streamlabs Highlighter, which is built into Streamlabs Desktop. So if you're not familiar, Streamlabs Highlighter is a tool that allows you to clip highlights of your stream directly inside Streamlabs Desktop while you're live. So as you're streaming, if something really exciting happens, you can take a highlight of that. And when you're done streaming, all of the clips that you've taken with highlighter throughout your stream will be in the highlighting tool. You can then easily just compile those clips that you've taken. You can cut them down. You can compile them into the order that you like. You can add transitions and things like that. And then you can upload those directly to your YouTube channel. And then another component of the highlight and share is short form content. So many of you may know that short form content has become a staple of content creation with platforms like TikTok and then Instagram Reels and things like that. They're just providing a great opportunity for content creators to grow. So reposting your live content onto short form videos is a great way to garner new followers. So Crossclip is a tool that you can use to edit your content from your lives. So you can use your Twitch clips, you can use uploaded videos that you manually upload to Crossclip, and you can turn them into the correct format for posting on TikTok or Instagram.
Cool. And the last growth tip we're going to talk about is live engagement. The first thing we'll say is use widgets, utilize your widgets. These are great ways for viewers to, again, get that on-screen time, gives the streamer a moment to be able to call them out, say thank you, and just have that live engagement with each other. Another thing is don't mute yourself, interact with people. Or if you have no one in chat, still don't mute yourself and talk. If you're streaming to no one and someone gets there and you're muted and silent, they're probably going to leave. If they get there and you're doing a funny commentary of the game and you're narrating whatever you're doing, they're more likely to stick around. And if you only have a couple people, talk with them in chat. It can be small talk. Just make sure to interact. Make sure to say thank you to your viewers. Another thing that you can use is recent events. Recent events, you can find it in the Streamlabs web dashboard as well as built right into Streamlabs desktop. Obviously, while you're live streaming, you have a lot going on. You have your actual game, which is the main focus, chat, all these things. So recent events is a nice little feed that you can do to just read off events as they're happening. So thanks for the follow. Thanks for the donation. Always be interacting. Use your recent events as a prompt and give viewers screen time as much as possible. We talked about widgets earlier, but some of the most popular ones for engagement specifically are alert box, chat box, event lists, and just anything that you can do to really give viewers that recognition. And last, but absolutely most importantly, is healthy streaming. So how to avoid burnout. a good stream is a stream that lasts forever. We want people who get into streaming and take all that time to get set up to want to continue streaming. So avoid burnout by setting yourself up for a healthy environment. First, streaming content that you actually like we talked about in the beginning. If you're doing something that you enjoy, you're going to be more authentic, you're going to be yourself, and you're going to want to keep doing it more. Have a healthy chat, use the moderation tools. Use whatever safety tools you have to do to make sure that your stream, channel, and chat remains a healthy environment. In terms of your own schedule, take breaks, give yourself consistency. Doing 3 overnight, all-nighter streams in a row is probably not the best for your health. So take breaks when you need. Give yourself, a schedule that you can that can sustain and that you can do consistently for a long time. Keep your streaming community a happy place and reach out for support when you need it. There's tons of communities of up and coming streamers. Talk to each other, talk to friends, and reach out for support. And that is all we have for you today. So happy streaming and thank you so much.
So I think we have one question. So I'll go ahead and read that. Do you think there's a best social platform to post when going live? I don't think there's necessarily a best platform. I would definitely recommend, and I think other people in the industry would recommend you post on multiple platforms if possible. There are a lot of services that will allow you to instantaneously post on several platforms. So if you're not doing that, that's fine too. Maybe pick whichever one you have the biggest following on if you're just starting out. It's also a great chance to cross-post on new platforms so you can start growing those followings as well. But yeah, I would highly recommend just posting on whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you have right now. And if you feel like starting some new ones, cross-posting on multiple platforms is always a great idea.